Hi, welcome. George Mossey show. We're a day late, but we're still gonna talk. We're still gonna talk about this show. Waiting on Cara and Dee Dee. Cara and Dee Dee had some things going on yesterday, so we had to postpone. Hey, Coco. We had to postpone yesterday, but Cara and Dee Dee are back today, so I'm just happy to have the Dream Team back. We're gonna try to tackle two shows tonight, right? Like try. We're gonna try to talk about 90 Day Fiance. Hey Scott. Hey Portuguese Princess. Hey Diva Speaks. We're gonna try to talk about 90 Day Fiance and then the other way. And then I haven't watched The Family Chantel yet, so no spoilers for me yet. I'm gonna watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. So yeah. And what do you guys feel about Angela real quick before the ladies get here? Angela's in Nigeria with Michael. Is anybody surprised by that? I was not gonna lie, I was a little surprised that she was in Nigeria with Michael because I had heard rumors that they had broken up. So hopefully we get a little more insight on that soon. Dee Dee, I see you enter here. Where are you? I don't know where Cara at. Cara, where you at? There she is. Dee Dee, where'd you go? You were in here and then you left. Yeah. So yeah, apparently Angela is in Nigeria with Michael right now. And everybody said that it's not like an old picture because they were on live. You can't do that.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know where Dee Dee was. She was in here and then she left.
She fell
So
off.
yeah, so I think maybe she's having technical issues.
Again.
Messia. Hello, Messia. So yeah, I was just talking. I was wondering how do you feel about? We saw this video of Angela and Michael together. Angela's in Nigeria. Are you surprised? I was kind of surprised because I was hearing rumors that they broke up.
I'm very surprised. I thought they broke up too.
And I was like trying to justify it. Hey, Dee Dee. I was like, maybe this is old, but they were on live. You can't fake a live.
Yep.
You have to physically be there. Yes, I was like, I guess this is happening, right? I guess this is happening.
She literally said,
Angela and Michael, I told y'all they were still together. What, y'all didn't believe me?
You did tell us, and I was like, nah, I heard they broke up.
Me too.
She's all the way in Nigeria, which I think is crazy right now because I was like, she's not just still with him. She's all the way back in Nigeria. Hey, bestie. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Yeah, Coco, that's what we're talking about, that TikTok live. Yeah, I know. Okay, so we have a lot to cover, so we can't get too caught up in Angela and Michael. We'll talk about it, but just not tonight. But I want to talk about episode number 7 of 90 Day Fiance, the OG season. It's confusing because I literally just watched The Other Way, so my mind is like all over.
Me too.
I know, so my mind is like, wait, which one are we talking about? So I have my phone so I can reference who we actually need to talk about in what order, because my first mind wants to go straight to the Danielle and Johan scene, but that we're not there yet. So I have to pace myself because there's a lot of people.
George.
Here
I
it
have to
comes.
talk to you about something.
Me?
Yes.
Do you need to do it right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's been private.
Oh,
Have
snap.
I got some news for you?
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I want to talk about Rob and Sophie because Sophie rented her Airbnb and she was like, oh, I need to talk to Rob face to face to see what I'm going to do because I'm already here. And she basically forgave him pretty easily. And it made me wonder, because this isn't his first time cheating on her. This is like his second or third time. And it just makes me wonder what her intentions are, because she's not ugly, right? Like, she's not ugly. She has money. She went and rented the nicest Airbnb in that side of the hood, right? Like, she has money. So I'm trying to understand what she's doing with Rob. Of all the people in the world, like in LA, there's lots of guys in LA, there's lots of girls in LA because she's bisexual, right? Like, she does not have to settle for Rob. So I'm trying to understand what her problem is, because she's like, well, I have to figure this out because we only have 90 days. Like, you don't have to marry him. Like, legit, you don't have to marry him. he wants to behave this way before you even get married, it's only going to get worse. Just leave.
But she has to
a green card.
stay. If she wants to stay, she has to marry him. She can't just pick someone else and marry them.
Yeah.
He's the one that applied.
She needs that green card. Once she gets married and gets that green card, is bon voyage.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
do you think he's paying for the green card, or do you think she's paying for the process? Because I was thinking back, and I was like, he's always complaining about money and how he can't afford things and how her life is just so much different than his. And I was like, who's paying for the actual process of the green card? Because I was like, I feel that way too. I feel that way too. That's also why I think she's not willing to walk away, because she put her money into it. And if she leaves, she would have to turn around and do this whole process again. Because I was like, I don't really believe he would have the amount of money. I think it's over $5,000, right, to file the application and everything. Like, I just don't see that he would be able to drop that much money to do that. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know what he does on the side or what his gigs are, or if he sells things that, you know, aren't kosher. I don't know what he does. But based on the situation, I'm just trying to understand why she's so quick to forgive him and move forward. And I think you guys nailed it. She wants to be a citizen of the United States. And there's only one particular way to do that. And she's already done like the first 3 steps. So she kind of looks at it as, I can't back out now. I'm like, there's only 5 steps and I've already completed the first 3. So she's like, I have to see it through and get the ring, get the paperwork, file it. Because once you get married and file the paperwork, I'm pretty sure you could separate right then and there at that moment. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. As long as that paperwork has been filed, you don't even have to stay with the person. You can literally disappear.
It's going to be very tough for her to go from that Airbnb back to his little, as she put it, dark room.
Yeah.
Well, if she can afford, I was going to wonder, if she can afford to put them in something nice, should she? I'm just curious. Like, if you could afford to live in something nice, would you move into something nice and then make him live in his Roach Motel and then y'all live separately? Because there's nowhere in the paperwork that says your K-1 visa sponsor has to live under the same roof with you. No. Like, why doesn't she just get her own place and then they live separately?
I mean, living separately is the best thing for them. But if I could afford it to live in my own place like that, I absolutely would have never came to begin with if I felt the need to live somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
You nailed it. You nailed it. If there was a questioning of whether or not you could live under the same roof of the person that you're trying to marry, you would have never got on the plane. You're absolutely right. But we don't need green cards. So we get to think clearly in this situation. People who need green cards, they don't get to think clearly. They don't always get their first choice. Hey, Jasmine. It's funny, Jasmine, because we were just about to start talking about what happened on this episode. So Jasmine found some lip gloss. Or no, lip balm in Gino's car. And some people online were like online CIA detectives, and I saw this screenshot of, hey, Jasmine, of the lip balm on the counter in Gino's bathroom. And everybody was like, okay, so, because I know last week, Cara, you were like, it's a possibility that it's Jasmine's and it fell out of her purse. So I think that might actually be the situation. But also in this episode, we learned that Gino, the night before Jasmine arrived, had a bachelor party and didn't tell his future wife that he was having a bachelorette party. Now, my stance on bachelor and bachelorette parties, well, Jasmine says it was real. No joke, it wasn't hers. Okay, so from Jasmine's mouth, she says that it was real. It was not her lip balm. It was in his car. Well, everybody has so many different opinions on this.
And the producers planted it. Somebody planted that lip gloss there. Somebody planted it.
They didn't think that there was going to be enough drama, but there was clearly enough drama because Jasmine found out while she was out spending some of Gino's money to make things better that he went and had a bachelor party at a strip club. And we actually saw some previews of what happened at this bachelor party. We didn't see it, but we saw previews. And it was pretty bad. Like, it was Jovi bad, right? Like, it was pretty bad. I never in a million years thought that Gino would behave the way that he did in a strip club. Were you guys surprised? Because I feel like Gino is kind of prudish, right? He's spanking the stripper, right? Like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I'm very surprised.
I'm
Honestly.
not.
This is,
I'm not.
this is
I'm
the
not
first time,
surprised.
this is the first time that I actually hope Jasmine flips shit on him. Because he's
I think
Jasmine
it's
has
funny. I
Jasmine
think it's funny.
has every right to snap on him because my stance on bachelor and bachelorette parties are this: you are entitled to one, but you are to be open and honest with the person you're with. And if the guy gets one, the woman gets one, and vice versa. I don't believe that you can say you can't have one, but then the other person can, and you can't do it behind the person's back. I don't think you should do joint bachelor and bachelorette parties. I think that it's supposed to be separate. But I do feel honesty is best. Well, Didi, you're looking at me like you want to fight me. So what's your opinion?
Fight you right now. I really do want to fight you right now. Okay. The only thing I want to say is karma's a bitch, ain't it?
So you feel
Saying.
that
Gino deserved that. Gino deserved it. Gino deserved it. Gino deserved it. Gino deserves to go out and have a good time. If Jasmine can go out and do whatever she wants to do while she's in Panama, she can go and have lunch with her ex, but then she's going to flip a switch because he has things of his ex in her room or in his house, but she lives a couple of doors down from her ex, talks to him on a regular basis. Hello.
I completely agree. 100%.
okay.
What I don't agree with is that he didn't tell her.
Yeah.
She didn't tell him that her ex was living in the same building. She didn't tell him that he's the one that told her about it. She didn't tell him none of that. So why should Gino tell her about the bachelor party?
That's true. Touche.
Okay, so I feel
Karma's a bitch.
I feel like Didi, your stance is two wrongs don't make a right. You feel
exactly.
you feel like if one party was wrong, then the other party can be wrong too, right?
Exactly.
All right, so
I think Gino did it to get back at her because of what she did with her ex.
I have a question.
She can't even come at Gino for being at the strip club because she's still lying about Dane paying for her ass.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I was wondering also, do you think that Gino knows about her bachelorette party that she had before she left Panama? Do you think
he's probably not?
But do you think he knew at the time? Because that was my first thought. I was like, well, wait, if she did that girls' night with her girls and didn't tell Gino, and then he did the guys' night with the guys and didn't tell her, like you said, it's an equal two wrongs, right? But nobody told each other what was going on.
It's both hiding secrets. It's
two wrongs that don't make a right, but she still has so many more secrets that she needs to tell him.
All right, so I need to ask this question. Ex's memorabilia, I think that's what you call it. Like when you have a relationship or a marriage and it ended. A lot of times the relationship was good up until the end. So are you supposed to rid yourself of every item from that relationship? Because Jasmine feels like, well, if it ended in divorce, that means that you should take everything out in the backyard and set it on fire. But some people have been married for like 5 years and it only got bad in the last year. So they had 4 years of good memories, right? So
she has memorabilia of her ex in her ass. So, like,
well, that's very
damn napkin.
That's quite literal. That's quite literal, actually. I mean, she does. I don't have a rebuttal to that. That's just the answer to the question. I mean, she's walking around with memorabilia in her ass of her ex. Okay, so yeah, you just answered the question. I don't even have any way to like argue with that. Like, because when she ripped up the napkin, it kind of bothered me though, because I was like, that was a good memory that he had with her. Doesn't mean that he wants to be with her. Doesn't mean that he wants to get remarried. It was just a good memory. Because I was thinking back, because I've had several of.
How old is he now? 57?
Yeah.
So it was his 40th birthday. That's been stashed away for 17 freaking years. Who cares? But also in one of the scenes, as she's telling the girlfriend at the spa, because she has to pamper herself every time she cries. She tells she tells the girlfriend, there's boxes everywhere and they're dusty and no human has touched them in years.
Right.
So she answered her damn question.
I don't see. I don't believe that keeping them. Oh, I don't know. I feel weird because like keeping love letters from a relationship from like a long time ago. I've heard both ends of the story. I've heard people who have, and I've heard people who don't. But would it make you feel insecure? I guess that's the question. If you found something from 17 years ago that your husband had, would it make you feel insecure at all?
No, he had a past before me.
Well,
you can't just delete life.
I think that's the most important takeaway is people had lives before they met you.
Yeah.
And everybody has a chapter in their life that you don't really want read out loud, right? Like everybody did things, and I'm not saying he should be ashamed of his marriage or whatever, but there are some things that happened before we met the people that we know now that we might not have done if we knew the people we know now. But that doesn't mean that we have to be ashamed of what happened. You know, our relationships growing and who we are then is who we are now. That's how it's progression. And I feel like Jasmine wants him to rid himself of all of the things that he had in that marriage. And there's good memories. I know people who were married. Actually, I know people who were married and then their spouse passed away.
Yeah.
And then they got remarried. So it's not like the marriage ended on anything negative. That person just passed away. They got remarried. So if that person, the new person was to ask them to throw the stuff away, I would tell them to kick the new person out. Like, because that is things, good memories you held with someone that you love that left this world early. You know, like, so when I look at it like that, obviously his ex-wife isn't gone, but I still look at it as good memories are good memories, and you shouldn't have to get rid of the memories you had just because you're in a new relationship now. Like, I had a best friend.
This is proof that there was another female on this planet that found Gino attractive.
Whoa, did you guys see that picture of Gino when he was younger and he had hair?
Yeah.
Gino was not an ugly guy. He was not an ugly guy at all. Because I was like,
so weird. He didn't just get weird. He was
weird. He's most definitely weird.
A lot nicer with hair. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't have any hair, but I mean, he actually looked nice with hair.
From what I remember, he went bald, but instead of shaving, like he has hair in the back, but he went bald, and instead of just shaving it all together so he doesn't have to wear a hat, he kept the hair in the back, but it's bald in the top, and he tries to hide it. And I was like, well, first of all, you could either shave it, or you could do the hair plugs. Like, remember David from David and Annie? David did the hair plugs. You can never tell that he ever went bald. His hair grows in pretty thick. And you know Gino has the money to do that. So if it really bothers him, and he was paying like $3,000 for Jasmine's hair extensions, Gino, give yourself some nice hair plugs. Get your locks back. Get your your self-esteem, your confidence back. Because I feel like he's not confident as long as he's wearing that hat. He's always trying to hide himself. But I want him to be confident.
With hair plugs, don't they pull hair from another part of your head and transplant it?
Yes, like your legs.
So, they would have, look at, Gino doesn't have hairy legs. We've seen him in shorts in Panama. He doesn't have hairy. He's got this much hair on the back of his head. That's not going to.
With a clear, like a clear blonde on his legs.
I mean, they're
so
gonna have to pull hair from somewhere, and I don't know that I'd want it on my head.
I think you're saying underarm. You mean underarm, right? Yeah, you mean underarms.
Then he would be a literal dickhead.
I mean, but
True.
I'm not gonna comment on that. But we saw Jasmine cleaning the house, which I thought was a good move because Gino's house is dirty. But then I didn't really see her cleaning much. She was mostly just snooping around his stuff. Because she was like, I'm looking in his drawers, and I was like, do women do that? Do women like look for an excuse to go through a guy's stuff? Okay, so somebody told me every time they go to someone's house, they go through the medicine cabinet, like in their bathroom to see what they have. Do people do stuff like that?
I don't.
I've never done it.
Really?
I don't.
That's weird.
So
Yeah,
when
that's
you
really
guys,
weird.
when y'all were dating someone, did you ever find like an opportunity to look around the parts of their house that they didn't show you?
No.
Okay, so y'all are just really trusting. Like, so y'all.
What am I looking for in the medicine cabinet to see if he's got
Yeah, I mean,
or Q-tips?
Well, I think they look to see what pills they're on, is what the person told me. Like to
Okay,
see like
so-
what pills they're on.
what, to see if they're crazy or
Well,
something?
yeah,
I,
yeah, like if they're taking like, depression pills or whatever mental stuff. I don't know. Somebody told me they did that. They said they go and they go say they have to go to the bathroom and then they look in their medicine cabinet to see like what they have in there, see if it's anything alarming. But I don't know. I thought that she was cleaning the house, but she was more so looking to see what he had stashed away. And I always say the saying, don't go looking around the doghouse if you don't want to find shit. She found shit. She found shit she didn't like that pissed her off, but she went looking for it. Like they always said, well, I'm from in the South. They're like, don't go snooping around the doghouse if you don't want to step in something. And that's exactly, she stepped in something and then she got pissed off about it. And now she's mad because he had an ex years and years and years ago. And it's like all of us have had an ex, right? Jasmine has a pretty recent ex. So it's like she's mad at him for having an ex-wife. He thinks he's fine with her having an ex until he finds out what's really going on. And when is he gonna find out? Because she said, I know I need to tell Gino about the implant situation and Dane's money, but I don't know when the right time will be. When is the right time to tell your soon-to-be husband that your ex-husband purchased your ass?
Probably
Like, when is a good time?
married, after they get married, and she's and the will and the whatchamacallit sign.
Yeah, I mean, before they get married would be a bad time because he could always send her back, right? Like he could always send her back because at some point he might just say, I've had enough of this. Like this whole situation I've had enough of. Speaking of enough of it, Jasmine keeps saying that she wants to go back to Panama. And it reminded me of, you guys remember Brandon and Julia? Yeah. And every time Brandon said something that Julia didn't like, she was like, I go Russia. Yeah. I'll go Russia. And I was like, I hate that threat. Because they always do that. Whenever they don't get their way, they're like, I'll go back to where I came from. I'll go back to my country.
And I would help them pack their bags too.
Well, right.
Don't
like,
which,
like, Sarper tonight. Like, book your flight.
Now that we've talked about that, I have to talk about my favoriteest part of the whole show was when Nikki's saying she'll go back to America and Justin opens the sunroof and says, where's the eject button? Oh my God. That was the best 90-day line ever.
I thought that was amazing. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, Justin has a really good sense of humor. It's funny because I get all of Justin's jokes. Nikki doesn't. Yeah. And I don't know why. Like, everything goes over Nikki's head. Every time he tells a joke, I get it 100%.
Because she's so focused on having sex 24/7, like he said.
Yeah. I want to talk about this because Justin said that she touched his chest and he literally jumped out of the bed and ran. And he said that he literally is afraid of her. Like he's scared of Nikki. And he's like, I'm scared you're going to eat me up. You're just so rough and you're wild. What does that mean? I've never heard a man say that. So like, what does that mean specifically? What is he afraid of? Like for real, what does that mean?
She's so freaking aggressive. He's afraid that even if he doesn't want to have sex with her, she's going to make him.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. Let me give me a second. I got some more words.
Well, yeah, we have to be respectful, right? We have to be respectful, but what you're saying is because even him, she literally said, "I just touched her chest," and he literally said, "I had to get up and go in the kitchen to get away from you." And I was like,
I think his thing is he is still whenever he looks at her, he doesn't see a woman. He still sees a man. I think that's what his problem is. I don't think he's okay with being with her because of her being trans. I don't think he's ever accepted it. I think he's accepted the fact that she was taking care of him financially and he was living a good life. I don't think he's ever accepted that he's with him. I mean, she's not a man. She's no longer a man. She's a transgender. But in his head, by the way that I'm seeing him act and how he is around her, I think he has in the back of his mind that he's not with a woman, he's with a man, and that scares him.
I think you're right.
And I think you're right. She literally says, "I am who I am, and I'm not changing." lady, you've already changed everything about you. Like, you've already changed everything. So I can't with the, I've sacrificed this, I've sacrificed that, I'll just go back, blah, blah, blah. That's all it ever is. These two are a nightmare together.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare.
Well, I wonder why Justin won't just be honest. Because here's what I see. Like, have you ever had, this might have happened to you, like, say you're at a bar, or you're somewhere, and someone of the same sex hits on you, and you get kind of uncomfortable. Yeah, okay. And that's how I feel Justin acts when Nikki hits on him. He has that really uncomfortable, uneasy feeling. And I was like, for some reason, like you said, he doesn't identify Nikki as a woman. And when Nikki hits on him, he acts the way a straight man would act if a gay man was hitting on him. Do you see that? That's exactly what I see. Like whenever Nikki...
It's because when he was with Nikki the first 2 years, she was a woman until she told him she wasn't. He's been betrayed since that point in the relationship. Yeah. Completely betrayed. Now he can't unsee it or unfeel it.
Yeah.
Or he just can't.
It's like that meme.
He didn't go into the relationship and say, I'm going to date this trans woman. Yeah. He didn't do that. That's not what he was looking for. He found the woman he was looking for, and he was fine with that until he found out that wasn't at all the woman he was looking for. And now he's not fine with it. But not being fine with it and still getting money to, be in a long distance relationship is great.
Well,
have sex with her.
Exactly, because if she's in New Jersey and he's in Moldova, there's no touching him, right? There's no sex, there's no intimacy. And I think what really blows up his world is she gets on a plane and comes out there. Because did you catch what he said? He said, you coming here has made big problems for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, like you nailed it. Everything is fine as long as she stays her ass in New Jersey and he stays in Moldova and the money is coming in and they're in a relationship, but they're only talking on FaceTime. I think that is his ideal situation. And I don't think he's ever had any plans to leave Moldova and come to America with her because he just built a new bathroom in his house. Like people who are moving and selling everything and bringing nothing don't redo a bathroom 2 months before you're going to move it to another country. What's the point? Leave the bathroom to be redone by the next owner, right? Like there's no point in wasting your money on a place you're not going to be in. He has no interest in leaving his country. And you can tell because whenever he introduces Nikki to his friends or his family, he's like, be nice. I have to be friends with these people. Be nice. I have to live with these people. He's never said, be nice and make a good impression. This is the last time I'm going to see them for a while. He's never said that. He's just telling her, act like you have some sense while you're here because I have to live here. That's exactly what he says to her.
Yep.
True.
Well, she ain't going back to New Jersey before she gets home. Well, apparently though, the night before he tried to eject her out of the sunroof, they did have sex.
Yeah.
They did have sex. She said that everything was good. They did. And I guess she wanted some more.
Always.
The next morning. And that's when he had enough. And I don't know. I feel for Justin because I feel like this is, like you said, it's an emotional war against himself. It's not a physical attraction situation. This is an emotional war against himself. Yeah. Like, because his eyes see a woman, his mind sees something else. And I feel like he's in battle with himself. Absolutely. And he doesn't really know how to decipher his feelings between, do I love this woman or do I love this trans woman? Like, I feel like he's literally having an emotional war in his mind. And Nikki looks at it as, you're just supposed to have sex with me because you want to. It's way more complicated than that. And I think Nikki just looks at it as, you should be attracted to me because I'm good looking and you should want to have sex with me because you're a 36-year-old man. Yeah. Like she takes the...
I don't know where she's saying she's good looking at because I don't know who did that body of hers, but it's all, I don't know. And now we know what her secret is the... What you call them thingamajiggers? The undergarment thingamajiggers?
Oh,
stuck it all in?
The Spanx?
I mean...
Yeah.
Oh, those are called Spanx.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right? I think those are called Spanx. And back when I was little, my mom called them girdles. Yeah. But I think like now, like if you're like a legit person, you call them Spanx now.
Well, girdles back in the day sucked you in a little bit. Spanx are created by someone that knew exactly what they were doing and really made it suck you in.
Oh, so Spanx is basically. Wait, I remember somebody said it. They said when your dress is. A girl told me when your dress is so tight, you don't know if you're going to suffocate or faint. I think is what
Yeah.
she said. She was like, it's so tight. She was like, you don't know if you're just gonna suffocate or faint. You don't even know because it cuts off all of your circulation. See, Tracy, you remember? Yeah, Tracy. My mom used to call them girdles. Like back in the day when I was a kid, she would call it a girdle, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Darcy and Stacy own a lot of Spanx. A lot.
Really?
That's why 9 times out of 10 they can't sit in their dress.
Well, yeah. Once a lot of times the women put on the dress, there's no sitting down. Sometimes there's no peeing. Like there's no bending the body at all. Once it's on, you just got to stand straight up, right? Like it's that tight.
Every time they show Darcy and Stacy getting dressed, you can see their Spanx every time.
Really? I didn't notice that.
You
It's interesting because they always get that what do you call that, cool scope thing to make your waist smaller. So I'm surprised they even still need that.
Yeah, it's a free surgery or a free service that they're getting.
Well, did you guys see? This is off subject, but Georgie is like getting all these surgeries too now. We were talking about that. We gotta talk about
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that. We can't do it tonight though because we have a lot, but we need to talk about the wedding and all the stuff going on with Darcy and Georgie and all of this. Yeah. I would love to just have some time to just talk about that because I don't know if you guys know, they're going to be in Las Vegas next month. And if you have $2,777, you can be in Las Vegas with Darcy and Stacy too. Make sure if you want to go and hang with them for the weekend, it's like a 3-day thing. Go and buy that and then send me all the pictures and tell me exactly what happened because I can't afford it. So, like, do it for me. Take one for the team.
If I went to Vegas, that's the last place I would be spending any of my time.
With Darcy and Stacy? Really? I would hang with Darcy and Stacy. I feel like they're a good time.
I'm not saying I wouldn't hang with them. I would never pay to hang with them.
Oh, well, no. Yeah. I mean, I've paid to, like, meet celebrities and stuff, but, like, $2,777 is, like, that's like Drake money, right? Like I feel like that's what you would pay to meet Drake or like Ariana Grande and Britney Spears. And I don't know.
Is that for the whole weekend though, or for each night?
It's for 2.5 days and it includes your hotel, your food, and your drinks and your activities. No plane tickets.
But you're probably only going to see them for like 15 minutes at a time.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Like,
probably less than that.
Yeah, y'all are having separate rooms and stuff. Yeah, you're not gonna like be hanging with them. But, like, you're going to eat dinner with them. And I think you do a yoga class. And then you go to a club at night. You know, that's a lot for me. That's a lot of money.
I really think they do yoga.
Oh.
There is nothing namaste about either one of them.
I mean,
come on.
That's what they were selling. So, okay.
Yeah,
so
a lot of stuff.
So, Clayton and Annalie, right? Yeah, Annalie. So
it looks like anal eye. I say it every time.
Yeah, that's what it looks like when I see her name. It sounds like Annalie, and I'm like, that's not right. That's not the right pronunciation.
Well, she is actually being an anal, so her name matches.
Yeah.
So hold on, I'm looking for my notes here. What happened with them last night?
His sister was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. So his sister asked the real questions that we needed to know. Like, why is it that my brother's not on your social media? Why is it that your dad doesn't know? And how did you feel about how Annalie answered it? I felt like it wasn't really a real explanation. I felt like it was, she gives me Manuel vibes. Like, she has, like, an ulterior motive. Like, she's there for a reason.
Green
card. And what Clayton knows is not what's really going on. Did you notice that she's not really trying to be intimate with him?
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's not interested at all. And she claimed that it was because his mom is in the closet, and I can't argue. I can't argue with the fact that that's hella weird, that his mom is literally not in another room. That closet is attached to the room that they're in. So I can sympathize. I'm not even going to go against that statement. But when two people really like each other, they make a way, right? Like I've heard stories. Like I watched Teen Mom and stuff, and the girls were like, "Oh, well, we went to the park, or we were in the backseat of we were in the garage." Like if they wanted to make it happen, they would make it happen. She's not trying to make it happen.
No.
She's not, and I think that the way that she got off the escalator, it really meant something to me. She didn't run. She didn't drop her bags. She just walked at a normal, casual speed to him. And I was like, that's weird. Normally they jump up and down. They pick each other up. I've seen people literally toss their bags and run. I've seen lots of different interactions. And she looked so unenthused to see him. It was almost like he was someone from the IRS bringing her paperwork to say that she owed money. Like, she was just like, so you here?
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I don't know. I feel like, and I'm not saying that Clayton doesn't deserve the royal treatment, but I mean, he's moving her into his mom, like his apartment with his mom, and his flow. Did you notice people were tweeting a lot about his car? Yeah. There's like tape on the car, and there's like some sort of bungee cord on the hood. Like, people were really going in on Twitter. They were like going off on this guy, and I felt kind of bad. I was like, I don't want to pass judgment on anybody's car, but it's like bringing an entire human being to be responsible for, you should have your shit together. And I feel like people who have bungee cord on their car don't always have their priorities in order, right? Like, there's probably
people that have their mother living in their closet don't always have their priorities in order.
For 3 years. Like,
I know.
If
why can't he live with his sister? Like, why she can't live with his sister?
That crossed my mind when we found out on the episode that he had a sister. I was like, so why is she in your closet? Like, if I have siblings and my mom needs to stay with me, I'm gonna call my siblings and say, hey, we're gonna do like a shared custody. Like, I don't just get mom, we're all dealing with this, right? I was like, I'm not gonna be the one stuck. Like, I'll do 3 months, you do 3 months, you do 3 months. We're gonna work around this. We're gonna do a custody agreement, right? Like, why is he the only one who has to take her in? And it's been 3 years. Because I was like, if there's another sibling out there and y'all all get along, somebody would have to take over. Like, tag, you're it, right? Like, tag, you're it, you're taking mom.
But here we are with another couple that is so obsessed with, you didn't post me on social media. I can't even get over that. Every single time I turn around, it's, well, I'm so mad because you didn't post a picture of me on social media. Get over it.
Well, I gotta say this. In this
I don't post
situation,
nobody on social media, so.
Well, no, me neither. My Instagram is just me. But, like, I'm just gonna say this. In this situation where he's being, like, made out to be a secret, it would help if she acknowledged his existence on social media. It shouldn't matter, but I feel like when you're being held off as a dirty little secret to everyone, it would help show that they are serious about being with you if they would post it up, because everybody's gonna see it. And it's like,
but see, what's not making my words ain't want to come out, and is what is not making sense to me is how she said whenever they went to go do the horseback riding, she said that she's trying to make it look like she came over to the United States, got a job, and then this is where she met him.
Yeah. And then she's gonna marry him in that short amount of time too, which in my opinion would be worse.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna make it look like she got over there, married a guy within 40, 50 days, or, you know, a short amount of time. As a parent, that would make you even more worried, because they're like, well, you went over there, you didn't know anybody, and now all of a sudden you're marrying somebody. I would feel like that would make her dad even more uneasy. That's why I think everything's a lie. I don't believe anything she said. Like, I honestly don't believe anything she said. I don't know her. I don't want to say that she's evil or anything, but whenever she's talking, I feel like she's lying.
Yeah. She is evil, and it's going to come out.
Right? You can only pretend to be a good person and not be a good person for so long. The bad person slips out. Yeah. Because I talk to people, and every now and then, like, they'll say something to me, and I'm like, that was either really out of character, or you're actually a really bad person and you pretend really well. Because every now and then they'll let something out, and I'm like, oh, now I can see there is a bad person in there. You're just really good at masking who you are. But every now and then, when you say something to someone and they snap back really fast, you get their true character. You get that real response. You don't get that orchestrated, well thought out response. You get what's really on their mind, and then you gotta take note to those. Every now and then, you get that, and you have to take notes, and those are red flags for me. That's a big red flag.
Yep. I agree.
Wait, spoiler alert, her and Manuel both came over to get with each other. That would be funny. I like that. That's who,
Anything's possible on 90 Day Fiance. So
that's who Manuel is talking to when he needs his private time. He's talking to Annalie because they're going to secretly get married and then bring Manuel's 2 kids over here so they can all be one big happy family. That's probably Manuel's baby mama, right? Like, we're just connecting the dots here. We're just connecting the dots.
Yep.
So,
like
speaking of,
connected the dots a little earlier, I got to talk to you about, because I was like watching the show, and then I was like, wait a minute, and I've got to text you. I got to text you.
Yes.
I got to. I'll let you know, Car, but it's got to be.
Yep. I
didn't believe it, but now I believe it.
So,
hey, I gotta know.
So Justin's scared of Nikki, but Manuel doesn't seem to be scared of Ashley, right? Like, I feel like Manuel has told Ashley, you know, like, stay out of my business. I like when I piss you off. Like, he's been pretty honest. And in this episode, he said, I'm not doing therapy. He was like, my personal life is private. Deal with it. And I think at this point, Ashley has seen enough red flags to book him a ticket and send him back, right? Like, at this point, you grab the receipt, you put it in the bag, you head back to the mall, you say, you know what? This ain't working out for me. I need my money back. I'm within my return policy. You're like, it's time for Manuel to go. And I feel like every time that he shows his ass, she just is like, oh, I don't know why he's acting like that. And he just needs to go.
They have sex, it's all better.
Well, right. She's kind of like Nikki. Because she's like, as long as she gets sex, she just ignores everything that he does and all the disrespectful stuff that he says to her. He's super disrespectful, right?
He is.
Like, he's a really disrespectful guy. He has no respect for her whatsoever. But as long as he lays it down at night, it's good to go. And I'm like, you gotta have some more standards than that. Like, and Nikki's the same way. Nikki is just like, I can ignore the fact that Justin be using me for money and everything as long as he gives me some at night. And it's like, ladies, you gotta have a little more respect than that. You need respect in and out of the bedroom.
Yep.
It can't just be he can treat you like shit all day long, but as long as you get what you want at night, no, that's not how you build marriages. Yep. That's how you build toxic relationships. That's not how you build marriages. And I really feel like Ashley is just letting everything slide. Like, at this point, I was watching the show and the red flags were flying past her face so hard, they were like smacking her left and right, and she was just shooing them off. Like, she just didn't care. She was just like, well, I don't know how we're going to make this work. I'm like, you're not. He's clearly not interested. He said he wants to live his own personal life aside and separate from Ashley in every way, but be married to Ashley and live in her house.
Yeah.
How does that exist?
It does.
How do you describe that to anyone? You're a completely separate person from your wife, and when your phone rings, she's supposed to go in the other room and put earplugs in?
Yeah.
Who the hell is going to do that?
Yep. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Girls act like they never heard of the rose. Wait, that went over my head. What is the rose?
I even know what the rose is. Okay.
It could go over your head.
That went over my head. Is that like a Bachelor reference?
No. It's a sex toy.
That's a girl's best friend.
Oh, I know what's it. Okay. They called it a rabbit when I was younger.
There's those too. The rose.
Okay. I never heard of it, the rose, but I've heard of the rabbit.
Oh,
so yeah.
Google the
most ladies know about that when they deal with men and they're like, you know what? This thing has an on and off switch. Men don't, you know, and women they get hip and they're like,
and you ain't gotta worry about him ever cheating on you neither.
Right? You put him in the drawer and you know exactly where he's at, right? You don't have to worry about it.
They don't talk back.
Nope.
When they're dead.
There you go.
All right, so there's somebody else we have to talk about, right?
Devin and Nick.
Oh my God. Yeah, so Devin and Nick got engaged.
We talked about them.
Right.
Devin
and Nick got engaged and it was nice and cool and whatever. Like, I feel like I tweeted out yesterday, I was like, oh, Devin and Nick are on. It's time to go refill your drinks, right? Because I was like, this is when you're watching a movie and it's the previews and you go get your popcorn refill. That's Devin and Nick. They're filler time. And I'm not trying to
I
be
don't
like,
have anything to say about him. Like,
They're so
boy,
I was like, if you want to put me to sleep, put a Devin and Nick scene on. And I don't want to be mean. I feel like they're both probably really nice people, right? But like,
but okay, let's talk about them. They bought clothes. They did pictures. He proposed. The end.
yeah. And for some reason, it was 3 separate scenes for that.
Yeah.
Why?
One to get dressed. One to pick the clothes. One to get dressed. One to take pictures.
And I'm like, okay, that's extra for me. They're the most boring people this season.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that they're on this season because somebody ends early.
I
That's my guess.
I need the eject button for them.
Yeah, open the sunroof, hit eject. They might actually make it. I was curious to see him make it into Arkansas because, you know, I don't know. I just figured that would be a weird transition. But again, even watching that wouldn't be interesting.
No.
There's plenty of people who are from places. I think Big Ed lives in Arkansas.
Parents next week. Now he's all what do you call nervous and stuff. Why? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. They got along fine. I don't know. It's the storyline
I can't wait for somebody to piss me off in my truck because I am opening the sunroof and I'm hitting the eject button. That is, I will forever use that. That's the best line.
I love that, and I feel like that is exactly how you have to handle Nikki, right? Because I feel like, well, she says it all the time. She goes from 0 to 700, just like that. And I feel like to get through to somebody like that, sometimes you might need to open the car door and just do a little nudge.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna kick you out. You know, like calm down before I eject you from my life. Right? Like, I'm going to hit the emergency exit button and I'm going to kick you out. Like, and I feel like that's the best way to get through to her because she's always overreacting about everything. Like, she was pissed she wouldn't get sex, then she got sex, and then she complained that she got sex, and then she began to like, she's just extra about everything. Nikki is not like a glass half full girl. She's a glass half empty girl. No matter what's going on, she's going to find 7 things wrong with it. And I feel like that can get really exhausting for anybody. I mean, Justin's exhausted already with her, right? Like, you can see from his facial expressions when she's talking, like when he was in the car and she kept talking, and you could just see he was just exhausted with her. Yeah. He was just like honestly, I believe if he had a way to eject her through the sunroof, he honestly would have done it. It wasn't just a joke. I feel like he honestly would have sent her ass flying. Like, I really felt like he would have.
I would have.
Probably so. Probably so. He probably would have wanted to take her wallet first to make sure that he gets all the credit cards or the cash.
Right. But he's got bills to pay, right? So her
he's got surgeries to get.
Her purse would stay in the center console, just she would launch out, right? Like, he has to make sure that her purse isn't like attached to her in any way, so he can keep his life going the way it is. But yeah, so we're gonna transition over to the other way, but we're gonna end this because I don't know, they give you a certain amount of time on a live and then they end it, and I don't know how long we've been on because I didn't look when it started. So if anybody needs to get something to drink or go to the bathroom or get some chips or some popcorn, meet us back here in like 3 or 4 minutes. We're gonna talk about episode 20 of The Other Way.
204 episode 204.
Episode 20 of The Other Way. This was the long-awaited scene with Johan and his wife, whatever the hell her name is. I can't remember her name. But we're going to talk about that. So, and I'm excited. And Sarper showed his true F-boy colors. So, everybody, make sure you're following my co-host, Cara and Didi, in this. They're tagged in this video. Follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast or stream music, type in The George Mossey Show. It's there. Again, meet us back here in like 3 or 4 minutes. I just have to post this video. Yes, I don't know if y'all are watching F-Boy Island. It's on the CW, but if you're not, you should watch it. Okay. Oh, and there's a show called it's like reality show Villains. It's been on now, and Fisa's on it. So if y'all aren't watching that, watch that too. I'm watching that as well. I believe it's on VH1.
Okay.
It's good though. And pizza's boring on there, but still. All right, guys. Meet us back here in like 5 minutes. Thanks, and we'll talk to you really soon.
Bye.
Bye.